Hello, I hope you had a nice day today. I had a very busy day today, had a lot to do, but actually it was I have a nice feeling for today because I got a lot of stuff done, which I was not looking forward to having to deal with this stuff, something about sport training, organization stuff, and some orders at Amazon that did not get delivered, and then you take care of them and have to look at your new orders, so they pick up new items. And I always don't really look up to ordering stuff on Amazon and so on, or organizing your training, writing your schedule, because it's just not very amazing stuff to do. But still, in the end, I got the things done, and I think I got a nice feeling now. So, where did we left last time? So, we are trying to patch our game, and the main problems with the game are following. First, it does not look too good, which is natural for an indie game, and we're going to fix one of this problem mainly with blur effects later. So we have this on our to-do list, not this one. This is for today. But the second problem is the storyline. In the first storyline, the game was released, the storyline was you go to this place, there was this artifact, and then you could kill a guy to get this artifact, or choose a peaceful path and just go away. Don't choose this artifact. And this would be the pacifistic, nice route that you would do when you want to play a good guy. The actual thing is the good guy path is not actually very fun, because you simply skip every enemy, you avoid every fight. There are some scenes that you only get to see if you are playing as a good guy, so there is a reward, but it's nothing that I want the player to do in his first playthrough. In his first playthrough, I don't want the player to feel like this is the right way to play, and maybe don't even want him to notice that there's an option to avoid this situation right here. So, we've set up these two guys here, which are going to introduce the player to a dramatic scene at the start, and we're also going to make the overall feeling of the game more into a drama, then into a maybe you're nice, maybe you're not. We have to give it better direction. And this guy here is going to get killed by this bandit. This is a farmer. He's a friendly guy, and he wants to warn us of people in the area who are looking for your bounty, and he straight up gets killed. We don't get a big background story from him, and we don't have any time to explain his background story, so we don't have to make up too much background information for him. I have my thoughts what he is in my head, but it doesn't matter, because in this story he is not important. The important thing is that this guy here, this bandit, is really showing us a guy that you can kill, because he just killed a guy who just wanted to warn you about something. And this is going to emphasize this guy is evil, and you can test your skills on him. And this is actually the first 5 minutes. This is a tutorial zone. And in this tutorial zone, you also have these question marks. So instead of pop-up messages, which get in your way when you first learn the game, you can walk to these question marks if you don't find the button for your bite attack, if you don't know how to jump, or if you're confused what I'm going to do now. It's mostly very, very obvious that you have to jump at this area, or that you have to bite this bat. But if you're not sure, go to these and you go to these question marks. They're going to give you some introduction tool tips and give you some background information how the mechanics are going to work. So by doing this, we also avoid that if you replay the game, you have pop-up information, tutorial messages that are going to distract you and annoy you whenever you make a new playthrough. And this way you can just go through these paths, ignore the question marks, and you're much faster through this first zone, which is just to give you some feeling for the controls. So we get, after we have tried our jumps and learned the base mechanics of the game, we're going to get introduced in the first dramatic scene. So let's do this. First, let's look at the to-do list. Oh, change the artifact. Guard into a bandit. We are close to have done this because the bandit is not completely animated yet. So we are going to do his animations today. We are going to start with animations for the farmer and the bandit. Then we are going to do the dialogue. And I think this is enough for today because it's very late. Probably going not only to stream 1 or 2 hours, but it's still time today that I can do something, and let's not procrastinate. Let's do it. So, farmer guy. We can add animations to him. So we are going to start with the farmer. The farmer is the first guy that we encounter. He's going to yell towards you and get killed. What do we need first is an idle animation. You normally start always with the idle animation. The idle animation is displayed when he's not doing anything. This can be when he's between 2 animations. Maybe he's speaking. He's going to make breaks while speaking, and he's just going idle, like breathing and something. So let's do this. To create a new clip, just click on create. Simple as that. Now we have to choose the folder in our asset folder. For units, enemies, and he's a farmer. And there can be a lot of animations. I don't think he will have more than 10. Most likely he will idle, talk, and die. But let's nonetheless introduce a new folder for animations, because there can be a lot of animations very soon, especially since we have rigged him. Now we can make animations really fast, and this is really exciting. And let's call this first animation farmer idle. No free space there. Okay. And save. Good. Now we have this farmer idle animation. It's not doing anything right now. So how do we do this animation? Do we have 4 eyes? We don't have a blink animation, so he's just going to breathe a little bit. So I also think he doesn't need any eye movement, because he's going to die so fast, and maybe has full screen time in the game of 30 seconds. So don't put up too much effort for a guy who's 30 seconds. Not going to add some blink animation for his eyes now, because I don't think it's even necessary. So he's going to idle. What we want to do is maybe have a little bit of breath. Now, first we want to save his properties. The starting point. This is going to be the starting point. We are going to add some properties, and think what do we want to do is go in the certain 30-second mark. We want to have a point where it's animated, where it's breathing in. His chest is going to be a little bit bigger, and then at 1 second he's going to breathe out, and then we will be back at the start and we loop again. Pretty easy animation. Do this. Now I did not pick any properties at the start. This will be okay for now. Because when I now pick his arm solvers, this is leg solvers, I want his arm solvers. I'm not going to do anything with his legs. And just put them up a little bit. Just a slight movement. Don't overdo this. This is just an idle animation. Copy this, put it to 1, and now we have an idle
Gamer
animation.
Chris plus pinball. Coding in Unity, I see.
Yes, I am also coding in Unity. I'm animating right now, and later I've prepared to set up the scripts. These are the scripts I'm going to code later, but right now I'm animating. Are you also familiar with Unity?
Gamer Chris plus pinball.
Oh, have you started coding recently? How much time have you spent in Unity? Not much time, but I've been watching YouTube videos to assist me in my development. Help me practice coding. Yes, practice coding is totally important. I don't know what you want to do later, but even if you just code a little bit in Unity and practice your code quality, you're going to make steady progress. I can only appreciate that because a lot of programmers that I meet at my work and even before that, these are just started coding on some hobby project. So can say the path is pretty clear. Everyone who has become a very good coder has been starting on their hobby project. I've been working on a Tetris game in Unity. So are you doing some challenge games? Are you challenging yourself with, let's make a game in one day, or are you just trying out tutorials? So this is my second time experimenting specifically with Tetris, and it been going well so far. This attempt. So are you just practicing, or do you want to make a Tetris game? You want to make a Tetris game? Oh, that's nice. So I actually once had a pitch meeting with some professors in school, and they wanted me to make a VR Tetris game. So I had a project where I was experimenting with VR, and one of the professors really said to me, if you want to do this for your bachelor work, you can just pick up a Tetris game and make this VR game a Tetris game. And I was like, yeah, but I really don't know what I want to do now. I just want to experiment first with VR before I decide what I want to do. And then I started to work in the laboratory, and actually in the end I picked up a job, and did some paid work for my bachelor degree. So in the end there was not Tetris game, but I thought this was a really good idea. Been experimenting and trying new things with this second attempt, such as piece kicks, hold Q, especially more than one hold Q. Yeah, sometimes when you're going for your second attempt, you just have so many nice ideas. You come back and your skills just increase, and then you maybe have a better idea what you actually want to do. Maybe later on 7-back piece selection. Ooh. Yeah, I can just say I wish you totally good luck with your game, and have a lot of fun, because just coding and making games is such a nice feeling overall, and you also are going to learn a lot of useful stuff for your later life. You want to be a gamer or not, I can just say keep coding, and don't focus on your goals. Don't focus on your goals. So don't try to say I'm going to be rich, I'm going to be the best developer. If you want to code, your goal is the way. It's just that simple. It's much healthier if you just want to say, I want to do today, I want to code a little bit and maybe make one function. Nobody cares about that. And your big goal, it's not important. It's not that important. It's much more about your coding routine. You're doing this for fun. Yeah, that's nice. It's super nice. I'm also doing this more for fun right now. It's yeah, I'm a coder, so it's also my job to code. So I also have a benefit because I'm working with Unity at my real job. So I'm I'm learning for my job also today. But thank you for the following. Thank you a lot. So in the end, I got a job through Unity, which is also not a bad job, I have to say. So I can just say, yeah, coding is such a good, nice feeling when you're also going to accomplish small things. And even though sometimes in the day you don't reach your goal for the day, you still do sometimes amazing stuff. So I've been looking into this idle animation right now, and movement is very small, it's light, and I don't think that I will have to add too much now, because as I said, he's not important. He's not going to have any fancy idle animation. You could maybe move his head a little bit. Wishing you the best of luck with your project as well. You have fun. Gonna leave your tab open for now. Oh, thank you a lot. And if you want any tip, if you have any question in your code, I've been coding in Unity for a few years now, so I can help you with anything. Thank you. No problem. I appreciate it. So I look at this idle animation right now, and I think his knees could also bend a little bit, like a slight movement down, and we're done. Oh, how do you make his knees bend? Just pick his root spine position, and also his solvers, arm solvers. And to pick all three and drag him down a little bit. Now let's. I'm also copying this second 0. Can't wait to see you in Unreal Engine 5. Yes, thank you, Sizer. I also can't wait to play Unreal Engine 5. With the current setup, I don't think it's taking so much loading time. It's so annoying to work in Unreal 5 for me. But I really want to get a nice PC as soon as possible. Unfortunately, reality is sometimes a little bit hard and I have to wait. Yeah. But I also can't wait to finish my game and work in Unreal 5. And thank you for showing up. Nice to see you around. And now I have a nice idle on his right side from the viewer's perspective, but his right leg doing this weird snappy animation in his knee bending. So this does not look very natural. So what is actually happening here? For the first phase of this animation, he's not using his leg at all. And then he's suddenly reaching a point where his bone rotations have to move. So the two fixes that we can apply here is, first we could try to make a point at this first phase, so he has to immediately start bending his knee. And the second fix would be that he does not bend his knee at all. So let's first try. I think the easier fix would be him not bending his knee at all. Let's see how it looks. This is a little bit unrealistic. Because if he's standing on the same ground, looking like he is stomping his ground into his feet into the ground a little bit. It's not looking realistic. Let's go back and then try our second fix, which is let him try to bend the knee from the start. We could just force his knee bending from the start. We apply an extra keyframe with bending his knee way sooner now. To do the same thing when he's coming out of his animation. Okay, I think the best thing fix is because the main problem is because the knee does not start at a nice start position. So let's just start a little bit bended. Look how this looks. And now I think we have a nice position for it. Okay, we're done. Let's not waste any more time and go for the next animation, which is going to be his talking animation. Farmer, speak. So this will be a very easy animation. I'm just going to adjust his mouth. So how is he going to speak? There's an easy way how you can cheat this in 2D, and in 3D it can speaking can be very tedious because you have to animate a lot just to have a realistic mouth movement, which is really something that people are going to detect very fast if you do it wrong. If you have unrealistic facial movement in 3D, you're going to have a hard time. People are going to are trying to detect it from the start. Even a baby can notice if somebody is not having natural human movement. But in 2D, it's actually quite easy. We just have some sprite for the mouth. And we're just going to set up more sprites for mouth opening and mouth closing. I think I have to put them together faster. You have to open and close the mouth very fast. And let's play. And that's not looking like going fast enough. Let's go for every second frame. it looks much better. But let's even try every frame, because we have six different sprites for the mouth, and if you change them every frame, it's going to be looking very fluent, like a good quality of mouth movement. Okay, I think that's too fast. It looks too. So let's go for every second frame. And we can actually adjust the speed of his mouth opening and mouth closing later. No problem there. Next thing we have to set up is, and we have, so yeah, forgotten this. We have to delete the start. So when he's going to start talking, we start with his mouth closed. The first frame he will not open his mouth. So, but if we want to play a talking animation, there's going to be a sound playing. We want immediately to start opening the mouth, then coming back to the start. On the flip side, it's going to happen now. He's going to go through all of this mouth. In the end, not waiting with this mouth closed. So we have to wait here 2 frames, because he's starting at the beginning immediately, and if we don't wait 2 frames here, you will never see his mouth closed. We have to get another keyframe. So next animation we are going to play, to create, is a speak idle animation. So there's a speak idle animation, which is just a way how the dialogue is working. It's a self-written script, and the dialogue is has a idle animation for his mouth closed. So what the dialogue is picking up, it's going through the audio file, and if the audio file is having enough movement in a certain time frame, so like me talking right now, detecting that there's a lot of movement, and then he's going to start to play the speak animation. If there's not enough movement, if there's a time where the sound file is, for example, silent, the dialogue makes a pause when he's speaking, then we are going to have to play an idle animation. So his mouth will be closed in this time. We have an extra animation, and the dialogue is just picking up the mouth closed animation then. So we need the speak idle animation. Oh, what are you going to do? Only has one property, that is his mouth closed. We're done. So the next animation that we need is his death animation. So this guy is going to get stabbed by the bandit. And we need to consider what the bandit is actually doing with him and how he's going to react. Let's think if we want to do this now. We can start with bandit now. The bandit is going to come to the farmer and stab him from behind. So I would say it doesn't hurt to go on with the bandit to make his animation, because actually we don't need to hurry up with the death animation. We can do it later. It might be because I want to sync those two up when the bandit is killing the farmer. So yeah, going to edit the bandit now. The next thing that we want to do is they are both looking to the wrong side right now. Both looking to the right. And we want them to look to the left. How do we fix this? Just use a negative x scale, and he's going to look to the left. And now we can also put him into his final position. We now see that he's disappearing behind this wall. It's because we have not set up the sprite render or layer yet. The bandit is going to start here. So now, because they both disappear behind any object in the game, we have to set up their sprite for animations. Just pick all the sprites, and now you can see the sorting layer. You can assign them a sorting layer. They are going to be units, and we are going to stick with the same order. Same with the farmer. Give him a sorting layer, and now he's a unit. Nice. Okay. Now we have to flip the bandit, give him a negative x scale, and actually I see I have applied the negative x scale to the farmer sprites only, but I don't want to do this. I want to revert this. I want to flip the whole farmer game object. Why do I want to do this? If you look at the bandit here, here's a game object for his sensors, which is going to be where he is going to detect his hits. So at this point, he's going to detect if the player is at this position, he's going to step. And also at this position, if the player remains here, he's going to deal damage. And if we would only flip a sprite sheet, in 3D, this would be like only rotating his mesh. We're not going to flip his sensors. Now we're going to flip his whole game object. Now you can see that the this game object is also being flipped to the other side, like what we want. Okay. Now we are ready to play our animations. So for the bandit, we want to start immediately with the kill animation. This is the first animation we are going to play. Make a new folder in the bandit folder. Animations. And call it bandit farmer kill. So the first thing I want to see in game, I have to play the game right now. I want to see if we can see the bandit from this position. There's two errors right here, but they don't show me where they pop up. A little bit fortunate. It seems to be a sprite render. This is not set up correctly. Hopefully this is just a Unity error, because I can't detect any sprites that are not set up right. Now for testing, I want to disable our tutorials on. And for testing, I also want to put the main character next to the zone that is of interest, because I don't want to start the game from the very beginning every time. Here we have an error. Unassigned variable, yes. Okay, we have to disable the script, because this is still working with the old setup and expecting the old game object to be there and not visible, which is a bit weird. But the important thing that we wanted to confirm here is we can't see the bandit from this position. So it's okay if the bandit starts right here, since we are not going to be able to see him approaching. Just what we wanted to find out. Really irritating why we can't see the post right now. So really weird setup here. Let's try to play again. Many errors. First I have to disable the script right here. I want to edit this. We have to set up the level 1 control later when you are finished with the scene, because this is what this does is controlling the scenes of level 1, and we later have to set up that when this guy dies here, we are going to play the death animation, and when the bandit is going to be killed, we're also going to have a special sound effect that is going to be played, which is going to be an evil off. Because when you're killing the bandit, you're exactly doing what the vampire account expects from you. And this is where you are going to be going into the evil path. What else not work? Death frequency expect something from us. This thing. So the farmer. Let's look into the script. Okay, the death frequency expects us to have set a death animation already, a death sprite. I will have to look up how we did this in another game object before. So this scanner is a sprite transform, which is only holding the sprite for his death animation. Let's just copy this into the bandit and the farmer, because the script is expecting us to have this. So why do we need a special sprite for these guys when they die? Let's make sure that these sprites are 0, 0 position. It's not the right height. Height and width. Oh. Okay, I think it's maybe because in all of these sprites there's a height setup of 6. So let's also set up this sprite for new height. I think it would be like this when lying on the ground. What this game object does is, when the farmer dies, he's going to display this animation, will have a material on it, and the material will have a shader. Here you see Blood Magic Dissolve material. This material is going to dissolve this sprite and play a fade out animation. Which also has a nice blur effect on it. Just increases the depth animation quality by a lot. Because we don't want to just pop out the dead body. We want to play a special animation when they die. Well, let's also look into the bandit and look at this death animation. The 0, 0, and it's going to be placed at the wrong. Also, the size is not correct. I think this is a what? Okay. So now we can start to animate the death of farmer. So the bandit is has this animation farmer kill. Going to what? Now we want him just to walk towards his farmer. So what we need is a walk animation. Walk over there. And actually we can start with a new animation then. Just call it walk. Okay. Now, before we do this, let's save. So we saved up every progress that we made. If Unity should crash. Now let's go get his walk. Talks the talk, but does he walk the walk? Oh, he's going. Put up his flag here. Put his feet a little bit up. And the other leg in this position is going to be extended to the back. I want to have it down a little bit. This looks a little bit unrealistic now. Let's first go for the other half of the animation and then look what we can fix. Second part is now his other leg will be extended like this. His this is white foot will point up. I think we can't go this, but it's going to look janky. His other leg is going to be extended right here. Foot is going to look down. This does not look too well, but let's look how it looks in the loop. Doesn't go. This doesn't look like he's moving. Something's missing. Oh, missing. First, let's put him down a little bit. So what is missing is that both of his feet are not touching the ground properly. So we move up down his shoulder. Oh, he's moved down. So here we want his right leg to touch the ground. Then slide to the other side. We also want it to extend a little bit longer. Far as we can go, because the 2D sprite does not look good enough. Improvise. Now for his other leg. On the right side, I'm going to start a little bit more up. Get up as far as you can go. And touch the big ground. back, and repeat. Looks like we are going into the right direction. Now we have to fix his right leg. Right is hidden and the other leg sprite, which we cannot have. Right resolver. This right leg. There we have it. The order of this leg has this right has to be higher than his upper left leg. This is 5, so this has to be in order 6. Now his back in front is going to be always in front. Deactivate the gizmos. We still don't have any movement in his upper body. It's noticeable. Also, some really weird looking thing here going on. Like, let's zoom out and look if this. I think this is how we will see it in game. So to fix this, we would have to re-edit his sprite sheet, which is going to be a lot of work. I think this can fly. What cannot fly is his left leg. We have to do something about his clothes bending like this. So for this, we are going to skin him. And I don't mean that literally. I mean this with the skin editor. Oh. Skin editor. Now here the character is rigged. Our problem is this leg. If this leg is looking forward, it's looking too janky. This is bent too much. There's too much bending going on. So let's restore the pose and first look what we can fix. First thing that we can fix is we can relocate his bone. Relocate his bone. The position could maybe look more natural. So for this, just click on Edit Bone and drag this to a new position. So I think where would be his hip be? Somewhere around here. Now preview his pose and let's see what happens. Okay. Now we see still too much jank going on in this area, and his upper leg here is bending it unnaturally. This is not going to be in the game. You can't have that. So let's pick the bone, and now we can edit the bone influence. Sprite editor. And to subtract other bone influences, you can just press Ctrl, select this green bone, which has some influence over here, and then apply. See that the mesh has changed a bit. I don't think that was enough. Okay, I think that there's also some wet influence from this wet bone. This is bone 0. Let's also subtract influence from the bone, because these bones make this leg look janky and this hardness to go up a little. So that's taking too long. Also in this area here, we have to subtract some elements. And smooth it out. Didn't go well. Oh, that was won't shrink. We have to reverse our changes. Now let's move. Look if this is going to save. It doesn't look like it. Oh, that's still not good. Oh, we need less bone influence for bone 0. A little bit confused. This is happening. I think bone 0 was having influence way too far into the leg. It should not reach into the lower part of the upper leg. Yeah. So the problem was bone 0 had too much influence in the whole leg structure. We are going to smooth this out to fix jank here. This looks a bit more natural. Let's preview. I think the upper part is looking way better. The lower part not so too much. This part has improved, but the part between his legs is not looking too well. So naturally, if you bend your trousers like this, they're going to extend a little bit here, yes. But you would expect it to be a little bit lower. So you would have more loose clothing. First, I think we can still subtract a little bit of bone influence here. That's wrong tool, smoothing tool. And the last thing that we can do is try out different bone influences just with this vertex. So let's first create another vertex. This vertex here, what we are going to edit. Let's maybe create more vertices here because we are going to add a lot of detail to this zone. And now try to have this area to be influenced by this bone a little bit. So if the space between those two bones is getting bigger, the trousers are pulled together at least a little bit. Oh, let's preview. It did do it, but not enough. So the next thing that we can do is try the same thing with this other part of the trousers. First, let's check if... okay, no, this is not okay. Then just like to the back. No green influence over here. I don't know why it did it. Hit preview. Okay, now let's send like this. I think it's starting to look okay. Okay. Try and save this. Starting to look okay. Maybe we can slightly improve a bit. If trousers just a little bit more pushed together, they look more natural. Don't overdo it though, because if we overdo it, will look janky. Push. Yeah, already looking janky. Because now we have the mesh going all over the place. We have to smooth it out until this jank goes away. Just smooth. Smooth. Until the mesh is again in a natural position. Oof. I think it. That doesn't look good at all. I'm gonna make it worse. Review. Oh. Let's reverse the smoothing. The smoothing doesn't work. So let's smooth manually. Okay, this looks fine. Yeah, that can fly. So let's apply and look if we fixed our animation. And place animation again. It's looking a little bit better now. I think his right leg is not looking okay. Not looking like it's moving enough. So let's fix his right leg. So I want his left leg to be extended a little bit. In the end, oops, I didn't press record. Okay. Now we can put up the leg all the way and it won't look too stupid. Yeah, we finally have an acceptable position for his legs. So this is looking acceptable for the game. Now for his 10 seconds of screen time where he's running, he now has running animation. Nice. Okay, let's set up his legs. So his upper body still also has to move a little bit when he's walking. So how does your body move when you walk? I don't. Okay. The first thing I notice is the hip is going up and down a little bit. So let's also do this with his body. So in this position, hip would be at the S spot. Now here his hip would go down here, and he would push himself up a bit. In this position, his hip is going to go up a bit. So let's do this. On 1 is his boot, main hip. He's going to push himself up a little bit. Go back up, down, and up again. Now his whole body is moving when he's walking. Here a little bit realism. Now also his spine would maybe move a bit. But let's skip this part. We want to get on and move his arms. I think this will be enough. So when you have your right leg up, your left hand would also be up. I think in this position, his right arm is going to be up. Then here, arm in the middle part will go back. Also want this stepping position. So let's not make this too realistic, not go forward all the way, just go a little bit forward, still have a position where I can step the guy who he's walking to. Then repeat. Okay, now it's still looking a little bit weird because his other arm is not moving. Let's move his other arm. This position, this arm would be far back here, and it would also disappear behind his body. So let's edit right resolver of the lower left arm, and his thumb be behind his leg. Then, in the middle part of the animation, his arm will come forward. Find a position that is realistic. How would you move your arm like this and have this? Also, never be ashamed to just try out your movements you're doing with the character by yourself. Real artists even practice in front of a mirror for this, so why shouldn't you do this? Your hands would be at the same angle as your lower arm. Okay, let's see how this looks. I think this looks good. Really, his arm position not looking too good. How do we fix this? I think this part where it's extended, this is the part that looks unreal. Just tone this down a little bit. Just try different positions until we find a good one. think we are in a good direction. I think the direction is okay. Is this enough though? Let's try to put this sprite behind his upper body. See how this would look like. Looks a little bit more realistic, but now we have this weird clothing here. But I think the benefits outweigh the negatives. The positives outweigh the negatives. It still looks like realistic clothing. Like clothing in real could also form this kind of stretching. Yeah, I think this looks sufficient. And this can fly. Okay, now we have a nice walking animation. And we can actually reuse this later. We need this later for the script. And he's going to be able to walk from this side of the artifact to this side, defend it. And we still did not make the kill animation. So, what is this animation going to do? Going to play how it's going from this position to this position. It's going to end in this position. So here's a little trick that we can do. Instead of having him start here and really move up here, we can play, because this is just in a scene, we can just play the animation. So he's going to start in the animation here. He actually will be here from the start, but we're going to tweak a little bit. And only in the animation, his sprites will move from the start position to his final position. So let's take the bandit walk. And just take it, copy it, loop it a little bit. Now we have 4 seconds where he's going to play his walk animation. I think we only need 3. And now we are going to record. What we want to do is we take this position here of the bandit, and his sprites are going to start here. And he's going to end this position. Let's look how this turns out. We selected him accidentally. Let's play again. Okay, he's moving from left to right. This is good. But he's not moving fast enough. So let's limit this to 3 seconds. Travel time. Okay, let's try 2 seconds. You got to go fast. Okay. Now, after 2 seconds, he will arrive at the farmer. Now we can start to edit the kill animation. So especially when the camera will zoom in on this guy, the bandit will just come out of nowhere and just kill him, which is exactly what we want. Somehow we have to make the bandit when he arrives. Let's make that he stands in a good position to stab target. We want to have him stand firmly. He needs a good grip on the ground. Both his legs should arrive at the position where he seems to be ready to stab. Now, extend his arm. So he's going to reach his arm into the farmer. Okay, that's the problem here. Need to move his whole body forward.
Thea Samu. He stabbing his left wrist P.
Yes. So we still have to do some fixing. But we can move back the farmer guy. So when we move back the farmer, the dagger will reach the back of the farmer. So we can just change the position of the farmer a little bit. If we move him back a bit like this, we also have to fix it that he's now not in front of every layer of the bandit. So let's fix this. Put this layer a little bit more to the front.
Thea Samu.
Yeah.
Amazing work, by the way, almost done.
Thank you. Well, almost done. I wish so. But I think we are going to leap a big step forward to do it today. Now what's our next problem? If he pushes forward his dagger is going to be in front of the upper body of the farmer. So let's move his body even more to the front. Let's put this. Let's put every layer. This guy maybe to 30 layers more into the front. That should fix our problems. So just add 30 plus 30 in every order in the sorting order. So the farmer will always be in the front of the bandit. So the Isamu, how are you doing? Now we moved every layer from the farmer, 30 more steps to the front. Now he should always be in the front of the bandit. Let's check the animation again. And now we don't have any overlapping that we did not before. Okay. We have a good stepping in animation. You can't really see the step. But maybe this is also better, because this way the janky animation, the janky part of the animation will be hidden. And I mean, the user will understand. He's going to be stabbed. And we have to fix this elbow part here. Put down the bone position, which I don't really like to do, but it has to be done. He's going to stab him right here. Put the farmer a few steps further down. He would stand like this position. In the idle test the idle animation. Yeah. This is where he would stand. Both would stand a little bit more to the here. And this is actually my preferred end position. Okay, now we have to step faster. and repeat the stepping animation. So he will step 3 times and then the farmer will drop dead. Now let's go from this position, make a point where he's going to step, and then he's going to move back his elbow, step again. Boom. Okay. Back his hand a little bit. Also move back his body a little bit. Now just repeat the animation 3 times. So we've done this 3 times. Let's look how this in game. We're still missing the reaction of the farmer. I think overall this is very good animation. So at this point, the farmer will drop dead. And the bandit will go back into his idle animation. So what do we want his idle animation to be? Maybe we actually want him to be in this position in the end. Let's blend out the farmer first. Okay, now this does not look like the perfect position for the bandit in the end. So let's make a slight change to his end position. So his end position, what do we expect here? What do we want this to be? I have to copy some parts of his shoulder positions. Neat. I want to play this a little bit faster. Looks a little bit more violent. It's enough for us to be realistic. Oh. Let's disable the farmer. Go for the end position. So his end position should be he's now waiting for the player to come forth. So he's leaning forward a bit, having his dagger in the back, dagger in the back, waiting for the player to come forward. When the player comes forward, he's going to stab. So this enemy won't have a lot of hit points. The player approaches him and bites him, which is the finishing part of the tutorial. This guy is going to die, but we have to still have an animation to have at least some kind of threat to the player, which is symbolic right now, more because this guy is not supposed to be an enemy which is going to harm you. He's just a tutorial enemy or first obstacle you have to overcome. You're going to find out how your bite works. This is going. Okay, we're nearly finished. I think he could step still a little bit faster because in the at least in the first part, because now his first part does not look like he realistically would wound you. I think if he would step this slow, would not be enough force to actually penetrate your clothes. He needs to be a little bit faster. But that's easy to adjust. Now that we finished the kill animation, we can also go for the idle animation. Because we now know he's going to end up in this position. This leg would be extended a little bit more further. And now we have a position where he looks like he's waiting to threat the player. Going to be a nice little threat. We are going to make his last big animations. First is idle. We're going to give him an idle. So let's actually create all the missing clips that we still have. And he's going to have a speak animation. Then speak. Speak animation is going to be super fast. And we have a speak idle animation. And last animation, last animation is attack animation. Only is supposed to have one attack, a very weak attack, but nonetheless. And he's going to have last his death animation. Then we are done. So this looks like really a long time to work on him. Actually, it's going to be very fast. Let's start with this idle animation. So with this idle animation, we're going to start how he ends with this kill animation. So let's copy all his keyframes from his kill animation, and he's going to kill to end, and just put them in here. Now when we play this animation, he will start at the end position where he just killed that guy, that farmer. And we also can put in these keyframes for his speak and speak idle animation. Also his attack animation. So we already have done a lot of work. It's now his start position for every animation. Idle animation is not going to be much. We're starting here. He's going his idle animation to just go a little bit down, up and down. First, let his root bone a little bit up. We lean a bit more forward. Move his arms a little bit, just slightly. Not too much though. And let's repeat the same process. Oops, I repeated the wrong part of the animation. Don't like the movement of the right arm, which is actually the left arm. I also want to move the head like a little bit. So it's always looking at the player. That's not enough. More movement in the head. Okay, can fly. So we have an idle animation. Now for the attack, this will be easy because we already have kind of an attack animation. Just have to copy the frames with stepping. In here. And we don't actually want to step the player too fast. So let's give the player 0.775 seconds to react. And then we go back to the start point. Okay. Left arm is not looking right. That, fix that. Things looking. I think I missed some keyframes here in the start position. I think this looks too slow. So let's go for 0.5 seconds attack time. Be a little bit harder for the player. We have to set test this in game later. So what will this do? When the player is going to get into close range, he's going to play this animation to he will do his damage. This position will not be much damage because the player has not learned how to fight yet. He's also get his first upgrade here. Then he's moving back his arm. Oh, now we have set up everything. Speak. Speaking is easy. Just circle through his mouth anyway. Going to start with mouth 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then back again. And I've forgotten to record it. So let's go. Okay, this is sufficient for his speak animation. Now his speak idle will be him not moving at all and just having his mouth shut up. His mouth shut. And that's it. Now we could combine his this idle animation with his speak animation by adding a layer with mouth control, but we will not do this today. So for speak, we want to delete every keyframe except for the mouth. Here for his idle, speak idle animation, we want to delete every keyframe except for his mouth. So in the end, we will play this idle animation. And we're going to have this on one layer, and the other layer will be his mouth control, and his mouth control will only play these sprites here. Only this. And repeat this. And by combining these two layers, he will still idle and speak at the same time. You can also do this for controlling the upper body and the legs. This is very basic animation. And animators actually go crazy with these lasers. If you ever wondered how can also 3D objects in games speak and walk, this is how you do it. Make multiple layers, and every layer just holds the animation for one part of the body. What is this part of the body going to do? And then you can speak and walk, for example. Then there's also some techniques you can combine layers and say when you are walking and attacking, how much should the attack animation influence your walk animation, and then you can actually choose how each variable is going to influence each other and have some animation that goes in between those two, so you can absolutely go crazy with animations also in 2D. Also working in 2D, but it's more important in 3D because you have in 3D you will have to do certain functions for your 3D character. Okay, now we have dev animation. So what is the dev animation with this guy? I think, and look at the gunner. I think the dev animation is pretty simple. Yeah. Oh. Go back to the bandit and look at the dev animation. The dev animation is pretty simple. Going to record, going to disable all normal sprites, enable this dev sprite. And when he's dying, he's going to freeze in this position, and then we are going to have a material which is going to dissolve his body. And there's also if we have an explosion, he's also going to spawn his despawn his upper body, but his head and arms and legs will still be in place, and we will add a push force to all these limbs so we can splatter him. So there's also splatter effect. Not going to be played in the tutorial zone. He is going to just dissolve. But it's also nice to have this option to splatter him really. So I think we are going to end soon. We still haven't made all the farmer animations though. So let's make the last animation, which is going to be the farmer animation 1 and 2. And let's actually start with 2. And I will explain why we have two dev animations for him. So.
Thea Samu. Your English is excellent. I like the accent.
Oh, thank you. I'm actually oh, can you guess where I'm from? So I think you guessed that I'm not from Britain or America. Can you guess where I'm from?
Thea Samu.
I say it's Germany. It's right. Yeah, that's absolutely right. Where are you from? French Canada, Quebec. Oh, that's far away. Oh, interesting. So, are you actually speaking French there, or are you speaking English? Or are you speaking both languages? Really an interesting topic, I think. French 100% of the time. I'm far from big towns. Ah, Montreal. Okay. Oh, what can I say in French? Oui. I actually did not pick French in school, so I don't have much French speaking capabilities. Sorry for you. So, only what can I say? La baguette. So I can maybe tell a little bit why I can speak English quite okay, I would say. My favorite band is from Germany. They're called Lyrill. It's symphonic medieval Celtic folk metal. Ah, that's interesting. There's a lot of people who are into live action roleplay gaming here in Germany, and they have a whole lot of people who compose their medieval music. Very interesting stuff, actually. And there's also a lot of people who like the Nordic music and speak all dialects in their music. And in the roleplay community, it's really a nice community. Would ever check this out. The only thing that you have to take care of, I would say the Nazis are also into old German language. This is stuff that you need to avoid. But if you come from the LARP community in Germany, you're going to find the right people who are just not the same. So if I would say check something out, it's in Extremo. Google it. Yeah, in Extremo is, for example, a good old German metal band. Hey, I participated into some lab a long time ago. Some Belgian guys bought a land in Quebec 25 years ago. Oh, interesting. So I would say, write it into the chat. If you ever come across this metal band, yeah, in Extremo, this is a also a very interesting German metal band which play a lot of folk music. They are also a lot into old Nordic and old German dialects and speak those in their songs. So are you meaning this right here? Biggest lab in North America. Ah, okay, I see. Yeah, Wikipedia confirms it's actually a very large lab movement organized at the venue. Oh, that looks really nice. So here in Germany, we have really not far away from me some medieval markets sometimes. And then they are also, and I also have seen this, but they actually did this in town next to a medieval cathedral. I also was one time in East Germany, and there was a big castle, and there were also some LARP people who just set up their tents there, and they were doing some role playing around this castle. Really interesting stuff going on there. Unfortunately, I did not have much time to stay there. And I would have stayed longer and what they were actually performing. Oh, big geopolitical games. Interesting. So if I would ever come to Quebec, I would need to check this out. Oh, thank you. E Everburn is now following. Thank you very much. So the SMU is now following. Thank you. So I have to say, I have to come to know a lot of LARP people because I was playing D&D, Dungeons and Dragons, a lot when I was still I played it last year a lot. So I've just stopped playing D&D because I didn't like the people too much anymore. The group that I was playing with, but maybe in the future I will play again. I don't know. But there's a lot of LARP people playing Dungeons and Dragons, and this is how I came in contact with a lot of medieval market people, and they were talking about LARPing. I started D&D at 7. I'm 37 now. I started D&D with 12, and I'm 32 now. How long have you played D&D? Do you still play D&D? All my older brothers were playing, so I was kind of forced to try it. Not as actively as before. Yeah, I understand. When you start working and have a job, it's just a little bit harder to keep up with your hobbies, but we have to try. I mean, we can't live to work. Do you still play D&D as pen and paper, just with people on the table, or do you play online? more tabletop with friends. Yeah, I actually think playing live with friends is actually nicer. When I stopped playing, we were playing online only. I played in forgot second edition, then third edition, then Star Wars D6. That was a blast. I think I started with third edition, then Shadowrun 5th edition. 5th edition, absolutely love that, because I think 5th edition is just what the 4th edition should have been. So I think the 3rd edition still has its fans and has its place, because you can do such crazy builds. 2nd edition, oh, I think the 2nd edition was very interesting, but what I have seen in videos, they still were figuring out how to make the balancing, and I think in the 1st and 2nd editions the balancing was pretty much off between the characters. I think what I've seen so far, the mage and the warrior classes always had a problem with their scaling, how you would scale in higher levels and lower levels. Like the mage was always like unkillable at the higher levels, and the warrior was just warrior classes were just very strong at the first levels, and I think in 5th edition they flattened it out very well. Also played in the 3rd edition, and then we had a mage and a warrior, and in the end the warrior was still useful as a tank, and the mage would just do make all the killing blows. So have a high DPS, do tons of damage. So true. Also the stats from 8 to 14 didn't have any differences. Oh, interesting. So what would you do then? Just try to could you point by, or would you always roll out the stats? Start having a +1 15, +2 at 16, +3 at 17. Oh, so if you're lucky and have an 18, and then even can increase your ability score, it's going to be OP pretty fast. But if you have a 13, you get nothing. That's kind of unfair. Also 14, you're 0 at 14. It's kind of unfair. Yeah, +4 at 18. I figured it out. Was there a limit, or was it scaling indefinitely? +4 damage with strength, +4 health points with constitution. The limit is 25. Yeah, but that's pretty much. That's a lot. $25 is Titan strength. Okay. So I think overall in D&D 5, it was the last version I played, the balancing was actually pretty good and pretty normal. I think you can only reach +5. Am I correct? And I think this was a little bit of a downer for me. I think we removed this as a rule just for ourselves. because I actually like to have a very strong character at level 20. When you reach level 20, or if you reach level 10, and then you have played so much, and then I think it's like a power fantasy. You just want to be very, very strong at this point. So I'm going to finish the death animation now. So our end position will be the position that we see in that guy there. Have this on top though. Match every part of the body. And then I think I will be done for today. Because it's all the animations I want to set up today. And I'm also over time. Third edition, you gain +1 attribute at every 4 levels. You can boost your stats with a lot of items. You could pretty much have 30 strength at some point. The best 3.5 edition that I know is called Temple of the Elemental Evil from Greyhawk World. Okay. I only played custom campaigns in 3.5. I was actually the DM, or the Dungeon Master. I was making the games myself. And we actually always played a very much power creep game, and I think we also had a lot of stats that were over 30. We also played characters we reached 20, level 20 and beyond. We were pretty strong in this game, and the end boss had multiple stages and over 1,000 health points because I knew just that our group could handle it. We were playing just with 4 players, but everybody was just so strong that anybody who showed up with the 100 HP would just die instantly. If not, an instant death spell would kill this guy. Just normal attacks from everybody killed every enemy in 1 round. It was ridiculous how strong the guys would get. And it was also ridiculous how strong I buffed up the enemies in the end, so that they would still pose any threat to the characters. Because if you just took enemies from the book, threw them at the characters, and then they would actually laugh about it and say, okay, where's the challenge? So these were the good old times, I would say. I'm more of a look, you found your first magic longsword +1 when I was master. Yeah. Yeah. I think I have to say we spent so much time at the first levels. Because when we started, we actually didn't know how experienced worked. We actually played with level gaining wrong. I remember we every time we recounted every enemy we killed, divided the experience between everyone. And what did we do wrong? Oh no, it was worse. When we started playing, you would actually only get the experience for the enemy that you really killed. And we estimated the experience that you would get. We didn't use the table in the book. This is how we really messed up with the scaling. So I think we played like 20 games for one level, and you're supposed to have 4 encounters for one level and then have a level up, and we had like 20 encounters more for a level up. It took forever to level up, so we spent so much time at the first level. It's like, as I said, I started playing when I was 12. Yes, that is wrong. One is really interesting to have just a group of level 1 and 2 characters for such a long time. Like, you feel like useless. At the same time, it's very exciting. You can die with every encounter, and we actually died and had to make new characters. Second edition, you have XP for casting. Oh yes, I know. Yeah, I think that's also wrong. Like, there's also some skills you can pick up later to craft your own items, and it would cost you experience. And why would I even let the player do that? Like, you fuck up actually your own character to help your team, but in the end you by weakening yourself and being weaker than everybody else, you actually handicap your team. It doesn't make any sense. Hook steals 100 gold from chest, 200 XP. Interesting. Okay, now we have set up every animation that we need. So, as I said, I want to explain why we have 2 death animations. And the first animation is just when he's going to get stabbed. The bandit is going to be behind him. Then, oh, I still have to edit something. His bone rotation. So he's going to get stabbed and fall down. I think he can fall down to the ground a little bit faster. Now it looks like gravity is not affecting him correctly. Yeah, that's it. And in the second part of the animation, we actually play this. He's just lying there. And then if you would use an attack on the dead body, the body would dissolve. I don't think I can show this right now. No, I don't. No, I can't show this. Can I? Yes. Ah. It's taking the wrong sprite. I know I don't want to edit this now. But this is what is going to be playing on the character, and it's actually also looking different in game, because now you don't see the blue effect is going to be applied. This is the wrong sprite. This would be playing on the dead body then. Okay. Now we set up every animation that we did want to set up. Now next time we are going to edit the dialogue. It is going to be played. This is easy because we already have a dialogue box and dialogue option, dialogue manager set up. Then we are going to display play the kill animation in game and set up a splatter effect when the farmer gets killed. And then we are just going to set up everything that we've got and hope that we have enough scene. So I'm going to stop for today, save the project, and I thank everybody who watched for watching. Thank you, the SMO, for our nice talk, and have a nice day or nice evening. I don't know which time it is in Quebec right now, but enjoy and goodbye.